Hello guys, my name is JB Dan, and today this video will be a special video for you guys because here today I will do something that I have never done before in this channel until now. That is giving out a commentary over a video. This video will be a commentary video. Alright, so yeah, normally I do tech videos, tutorial videos and gaming from time to time, but here today will be different. So anyways, the video I will be commenting on is this one, HTML or CSS for beginners. Alright, let's watch the video.
Hello, if you hear from my people.
Hi. Okay, so I have to, side note, this is my favorite YouTuber, so yeah, go subscribe to her like this. Click this subscribe. I'm not going to subscribe to her because my subscription is clogged up as of right now, so yeah.
Previous video, welcome to part 2. So just a huge disclaimer before we begin. So I'm still new to coding, so please don't come for me in the comments. I intend this video to be for absolute baby beginners and not anyone that's experienced.
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, like, we all have to start at, I don't know, something. We've been there, so don't worry.
Anyone that's experienced in coding, we all have to start somewhere. Second, the goal of this video is not to be a step-by-step tutorial on how I made my web page, but what it is you'll get enough of the basics just to get started on your own journey.
Okay, that sounds cool.
I'll leave timestamps for each section down below if you want to skip around, but let's get on to the video.
Awesome.
After looking at NeoCities for the first time, I was already designing.
Oh yeah, NeoCities. Alright, so for those who don't know, I will give you an explanation since this is a commentary. After all, for those who don't know, this is what NeoCities look like. We type NeoCities and the first thing you'll see is this one. It might not look much, but if you scroll down, you will see other people's website. So as you can see, this is, for example, this is someone else's website. They coded this. And yeah. I also have a NeoCities account. And this is what my NeoCities website looks like. It's not much, but yeah. So that's to give you an idea of what NeoCities looks like. Alright, so
designing how I wanted my web page to look, drawing like a basic layout of my page on paper first, thinking about like what kind of pages I want. I wanted an about section, maybe a little art gallery, and maybe like a link section. And then once I got a layout that I really liked, I kind of made a mock-up of it in Clip Studio Paint. And once I found one that I was really happy with, I kind of had an idea of
this is actually a good idea. Like making a mock-up, making up like some kind of a blueprint, a plan on like designing your website is such a good idea, because in the world of software design, website design, or anything really, you need to have a plan. You need to plan out the layout, the design. If you don't, then you will end up changing your UI, or user interface for short, a ton of time. Like the amount of time for you to design your website, if you don't plan it first, will be colossal. And I learned that the hard way when I first make my website. For those who were wondering, this is what my first website looks like. As you can see, well, not too shabby, but this is based on drag and drop. I didn't code it manually, so yeah, you get the point. Alright, continuing where we left off.
what kind of things I would need to learn to be able to achieve it. So now that we have an idea of what we want to make, now it's time to actually write some code, right? Technically, you can use a program called Notepad, which comes pre-installed on most Windows systems, but that's kind of like the equivalent of using MS Paint as an art program. Like, technically it will work, but it's probably not the most efficient or fun way to do it.
Yeah, this one she is right. Yes, you can use Notepad. Yes, you can create stunning and beautiful website with Notepad. But the thing is, number one, there is so pain in the butt. Like it's so painful to code in Notepad. First of all, Notepad for those who live under a rock, Notepad looks like this. As you can see, just a bare bones text editor. Text editor. It should be noted that there is a fine difference between a text editor and a code editor. A code editor is something like this, like Visual Studio Code. Here, let me pull it out for you. So as you can see, this is what a code editor looks like. As you can see, if we zoom in, there is suggestion which makes coding easy. A text editor, by the way, does not have that. Its primary purpose is to just edit text. Meanwhile, a code editor's primary function is to edit code. I'm pretty sure you already know this, so let's move on.
Personally, I use a program called Visual Studio Code. It's
Yeah, this one. Such a good choice you made.
I use a program called Visual Studio Code. It's free. It's recommended by a lot of people.
Of course, it is recommended by a lot of people. I mean, it's the number one code editor out there.
And that's what I use for all my projects.
Good.
That's what I'll be using for the rest of this video.
Awesome.
So now that we have all our tools for the project, let us make a folder for our website. And let's call it My Website. And let us open Visual Studio Code. This is the first thing you're going to see when you open a new project. Let's make a new file, new text file.
Yeah. So, first of all, when you code a website, like when you, I don't know, make anything like an application, mobile app, software, programs, or even websites, you need to create a folder first. That folder will be your project's folder. It's where everything lives.
And so before we type anything, let us save this file into our website folder. And we need to call it index.html. It has to be named that, otherwise this won't work. And now you're going to type
Okay, so what she means by this is that web servers are designed to look up a file, an HTML file that is named index.html. That's the way it is. Technically, you can configure web servers to look up for any HTML files other than index.html, but that will be such a major pain. It will be very complicated. So it's easier to just name your HTML file index.html rather than just confusing yourself.
It has to be named that, otherwise this won't work. And now you're going to type exactly this. So it's going to be doctype with exclamation point HTML. And basically what this does, it tells the internet browser, if you were to upload this, that this is an HTML document. And so now we're going to type HTML. And what you'll notice is,
Okay, so sorry for interrupting again and again. So what she says is correct, but I think there is a far better way than just typing like this. You have to type everything manually, like the HTML tag, the body tag, the header tag. What you can do actually when you use VS Code and you are coding a website is simply put, you can just do it like this, HTML. Here, just simply type this one, and voila. You don't need to type the body tag, you don't need to type the head tag, just type this one and it will type it for you. This video was 2 months ago, so yeah.
there's two HTMLs. So these are called tags, and basically tags always start with an opening tag and then a closing tag, but the closing tag always has a slash. And this applies to most tags that you're using when you're writing HTML. So
Okay, so I have to interject here. It should be noted that not all HTML tag looks like this. If you ever code in HTML, you'll know that some HTML tags doesn't need a closing tag. For example, the image tag. As you can see, this one doesn't need closing tag because at the end of the day it's just an image. But if you really need a closing tag, you can just type its closing tag like this. Again, some tags do not need a closing tag.
HTML. So all of our content is going to be sandwiched in between these
Right.
HTML tags. So I put these files side by side so that way you can see what's updated as we write for the project.
Okay.
So we're going to add a title tag and we want it to say my web page or something. Oop, I can spell.
Or you can name it whatever you want, really. You don't have to literally name it my web page. You can name it whatever you want.
Okay, so let us save that and then let's refresh here. And you'll notice up here, now it says my web page.
Good,
So
correct.
the next tag we want to add is called body. So basically all of our visible text on our page is going to go inside this. So I want to add a
Correct.
and so for that we are going to type H1 and let us write. And let's refresh here. And now we can see it says welcome to my webpage. What would we do if I want to add?
Okay, so an explanation here. The H1 tag is a title tag, alright? So what it does really is to just display a title for your website. I do recommend not using H1 or any of its relatives like H2, H3, H4 because I think it makes it harder for it to be stylized in CSS, which we'll get to that.
Like an image or a GIF, right? So we're going to type in MIG, which is short for image. But then you
Yes,
have to give it a source. So we have to type in
of course.
src equals, and then inside the quotations, you are going to tell it the location of your image. Is it coming from your PC or is it coming from a URL? I have a URL, so I'm going to paste it in here. But make sure you add that little bracket at the end. And image is one of those like tags that doesn't have a closing tag like I mentioned before. But let's save this and let's refresh here. So it's a GIF of Sailor Moon, but what if I want to add a little bit about myself? That one's pretty easy, so we're going to add a little paragraph.
I don't think she showed you all how to use image locally. Did she? Alright, so I have to fill this one out for her.
And then
So for those who want to use their image locally, well, you can. So as you can see, I just saved the website. Okay, so this is how you use your own image. So I will create a new bitmap image right here. I'm just going to call it image.bmp. Since there is literally nothing in this image, I'm just going to use MS Paint. Save that. I'm going to draw simple shapes right here because this is all white. Now, as you can see, to use your image, just type image.bmp. There we go. This is using the relative path. It should be noted that everything in the HTML world is relative. You use a relative path, not an absolute path. A relative path looks like this. An absolute path looks like this. You type in the drive and user jack blah blah blah. So yeah, as you can see, if we open this, there we go. This is our image. That's how you use your own image. Alright,
but let's save this and let's refresh here. So it's a gif of Sailor Moon, but what if I want to add a little bit about myself? That one's pretty easy, so we're going to add a little paragraph. So the tag for that is P, and let me write something
Good.
really quick.
This is, I would for this one, like this tag right here as a, as a text tag. I mean, like, what's the difference at this point? Oh god.
So let's save that and refresh here. But what if I want to emphasize my name, right? So we are going to write the bold tag, and for bold, we're going to type B. But what you want to do is the text that you want bold, you want it sandwiched in between the bold tags, right? So let's save that and let's refresh. So now you can see my name is in bold. But what if I want to italicize this part right here? So the tag for italicizing is going to be I.
Okay.
Again, like I said before, let us
Good.
sandwich these words between the.
Yeah, this is how you do HTML coding, by the way. You sandwich stuff up together. So this one is a P tag, of course. Then after you add the P tag, if you want to stylize the letters, you use the I tag and the B tag. This is B is for bold, I is for italic, and you don't need to use the HTML tag. You can also use CSS. Here I will show you. Now to make this simpler, we're just going to add the CSS directly into our HTML. So this is what we call internal CSS in web development. So as you can see, style. Now let's style our text, shall we? As you can see, hello world. In order to use this style, you have to give your element a class first. For example, hello text. Use the minus symbol as a space. As you can see, hello text. Now I'm going to italicize this text right here. Style italic. So if we open that again, as you can see, if we scroll all the way, it is italicized, but it's too damn small. We can also adjust the font size to, let's just say, 60 px. There we go. Yeah, so normally web dev don't use HTML tags to stylize their stuff, like the P tag, but they will use CSS like right here. That way it's much easier to manage, because if you want to make your website bigger, if you want to add more content to your website, then it will be more and more painful if you keep on using HTML tags to stylize your stuff. Also, HTML is very limiting, and you cannot style, other than text really, you cannot style anything with just HTML. You have to use CSS. What CSS stands for is Cascading Style Sheets.
Italicization tag. There we go. Oops. Save, and then let's refresh, and you can see now it's italicized.
Yeah.
So the tag for links is gonna be A, and then I have a link already saved. So let me paste that here, and let's save that, and let's refresh here. So my link is here, but the text is not taking me anywhere, and that's because I made a mistake. The thing about the link tag is that you need to actually tell it where you want the link to direct you to.
Of
So
course.
type
That's
href
how it works actually.
equals, and then you'll see the quotations is telling you where is the source of this link. So I'm gonna paste it there.
Yeah, that's pretty much how the A tag link works. You can't just paste a link and expect it to know that, hey, this is a link. She did this. HTTPS. Yeah, doing it like this will not work, because number one, Anything that is sandwiched between the A tag will be treated like a text, which in this case, the link tag. Alright, so going back to this, well, it will show just a tag. If you do not add href, it will treat it as a regular text right here. So yeah, make sure you add that href thing, and then you add the link.
Let's save, let's refresh. Now you see that the link is working. So if I was to click it, it will take me to where I want to go.
Of
what
course.
if I want this link to look a little bit prettier? So let's change the text.
You see what I mean? This is where the text of the link belongs.
Let us save and let us refresh. So now it says more about Sailor Moon, but when you click it, it is taking you to the link you're directing it to.
Bingo.
Pretty cool, right? Now that we finished that, what if I want to add like more to my page, right? Like, because this text is a bit plain, what if I want to change the color of it? And what if I want like a background? What would I do for that?
Yes. Now we are getting to the more exciting part, the CSS part.
So for that, we're going to need to learn a little bit of CSS. So let's change the background of our page first. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the body tag. You're going to type inside of it, style, equals, and then inside the quotations, you're going to type exactly this. So because we want to affect the background of the body, we're going to type background color. And then colon. And
good.
Let's make it pink. And then you need to type in semicolon to tell it that you're done adding what you want to add.
Yeah, that's pretty much how CSS work. You use the semicolon is, you know, acts like a separator, and like, you know, it tells the CSS, that yes, you are done doing something. Also, I need to explain more. The style argument for the body tag, while it works, it is highly discouraged. I mean, it is highly not recommended because, first of all, it becomes extremely hard to manage as you build more and more of your website. So there will be a ton of stuff like, you know, images, videos that you need to take care of. You need to position them, you need to put them up, you need to put them down, and styling your HTML elements like this, well, it is highly discouraged. What you can do, however, if you really want to put your CSS styling on your HTML site, is do what I just did right here. This is what I call internal CSS styling. What she did, however, is she is doing what we call inline CSS, due to the fact that you are directly modifying the HTML elements line by line.
Save, and then let's refresh here, and now it's pink. So the next thing we want to change is the font size. What if I want this font to be a little bit bigger? So for that, we're going to type in style again inside the paragraph tag, equals, and then inside the quotations, we are going to type font size, and let's make it around 25 pixels, and then semicolon at
oh yeah, PX stands for pixels. How stupid I am. This is literally what I just did before, but we'll ignore that.
Save, and
okay,
let's refresh, and now it's a bit bigger. And so for the final thing, I want to change the color of our header. So we're going to go to our header tag, and you're going to type in style again, oops, and then, you know, equals, and then in the quotations, you're going to type exactly this, type in color, colon, and then let's make it blue, and then don't forget the semicolon at the end.
Of course.
Save, and then let's refresh.
That's how you change a text color. You add the color. You add the color like here, color argument here.
Let's save, and then let's refresh. And this is the final result. Like, of course, this is a very basic overview of what HTML and CSS has to offer.
I mean, of
but
course.
If you want to learn more, some of the resources that I used were Free Code Camp, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I learned a thing or two from this guy's website. For those who don't know, Free Code Camp, a YouTube channel, has his own website. So yeah, go check that out.
And W3 Schools is also
I also learned from this one.
another good one. And anything else that I couldn't figure out, I ended up just Googling a lot and reading forum posts, hopefully to see if someone else figured it out. I also have a couple of resources on my web.
Well, I guess that is it for this video. Yeah, anyways, that is it for this commentary video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure to subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and share this video to your friends who really want to learn programming, web development. Web development. Also, don't forget to subscribe to her channel like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.